This is a very short screencast that will show how to compile PowerTools for OpenXML and then create a brand new project that contains a reference to the PowerTools for OpenXML. So first of all, I am pasting in here the OpenXML PowerTools zip file exactly as I've downloaded it from the PowerTools site on CodePlex. Now let's unzip that. I'll extract everything. And there it is. Now let's go and build one of the examples and make sure that we can run an example. Because I have multiple versions of Visual Studio always sitting around, what I always do is I hold the Shift key down here and I right click, I do copy as path, and then I start a new version of the Visual Studio that I want to use, and then I do File, Open Project Solution, and then I right click and I paste that path in there and click Open. It tells me, is this a trustworthy source? I'll say yes, and I'll tell it don't ask me for every project in the solution. By the way, what we may want to do here, I'm going to close this down and come back here to this folder here, and I'll just do PowerShell, and I'll do dir star.star dash recurse, and I'll pipe that into unblock file, and it gets all done. And now you'll never get that error again. We've unblocked every file in the entire PowerTools directory and subdirectory. So let's again right click, copy that as path, start Visual Studio again, file, open, project solution, Control V, paste that in there, and now of course we don't get that error. And this is the default project. If I just press F5, it compiles and runs. Here I'll do Control F5 and we can see, yes, it did in fact run. So we've built PowerTools and we've compiled and run one of the examples. Okay, now let's get out and build a brand new project. So I'm going to quit Visual Studio there, and I'm going to make a sibling to OpenXML PowerTools examples with a brand new project. So I'm going to copy this directory name right there, and I'll go File, New Project. I want a brand new project, and the folder that I want is, I'm going to paste in that same directory right there, and console application 1, that's okay for this example. Well, here we'll change it. I'll change it to PowerTools and I'll click OK. Alright, now the next thing that I have to do is I want to add that existing OpenXML PowerTools project. So I'm going to add existing project, and I'm going to open that up. Now we've added that OpenXML PowerTools project to this solution, but I need to add a reference to it right here. So I'll right click here and add a reference, and if I come over here and I click on solution and projects, I can see that other project right here. I'll click OK, and then I'm also going to need to add a reference to the OpenXML SDK. So easiest way is come back over here, go to extensions and pop down here. The easiest way is go document format, and I want the version 2.5 right there. We've got that fellow, and we also need to add a reference to Windows base, and that's going to be all the way down here, and I click OK, and now I should be able to build this, and we'll build just fine. Now I need to add some PowerTools code to try this out. So let's do something here. I'm going to open up the OpenXML PowerTools examples just so I can go and grab one of the examples without writing one from scratch. I'll take this OpenXML regex01 example, and we can see up here I've got using OpenXML PowerTools, and I've got using document format.openxml.packaging, and other than that, all of these are standard .NET usings. So I'm just going to copy the entire file, and I'll go back over to my PowerTools example thing. I'll just replace this entire file with that. So now I have a PowerTools Open XML example that I've built myself, and that I've added a reference to OpenXML PowerTools project. And let me make sure that I can rebuild that fellow. It certainly does. And if I want to test this out, I'm also going to need this test document here. So I'll go put this into PowerTools example and push that in right there. And here, let's see here if I can Control F5, and it did run. So this is the project that I just built from scratch, putting together all of my assembly references and using statements as appropriate.